is welcome to Sports Chat on the eve of Campbell County High School basketball homecoming. Had a really mixed week. The Cougars dropped a tough loss to Cumberland Gap. Lady Cougars just humbled Cumberland Gap.
It was a reversible fortune. The boys have been on a bit of a winning streak. They won a couple in a row in the district. The good thing about the Cumberland Gap game, it wasn't out of district game, so that it doesn't really hurt them in the district standings. Lady Cougars had a bit of a losing streak in the district and got this out of district win over Cumberland Gap. Pretty sizable win, around 20 points. They'd only beaten by a couple of points at Cumberland Gap. Hopefully that gets them back on the winning track as we get later into January, and then we'll start the tournament season pretty soon. Tonight is homecoming. Well, as we're shooting this, it's going to be homecoming tonight. Hopefully both pick up wins against Central. Central's not the best team in the district by any means. They have a lot of talent.
Central, it's traditionally a pretty athletic school. They had a good history in football, basketball, and baseball.
Oh yeah, I mean, they had legendary players come through the program.
But tonight, both squads have a good shot at picking up a homecoming victory.
Hopefully they can get it. Hopefully there's no distractions. Homecoming is usually after the game, so that shouldn't be a big deal. I know a couple of the girls are at homecoming. I'm not sure if any of the guys are. I'm sure that some of the guys are escorting some of the girls. They usually do. I'm sure they'll be able to put those distractions behind them. Central has talent on both squads, and it'll be a hard-fought victory. Hopefully, each one that both teams can get. It's really time to start getting your games shored up. We're around 20 games into the season now. I think the Cougars are 8-11. The Lady Cougars, I can't remember their record, but it's a little better than their medal counterparts. It's time to start building toward the tournament and getting your team tuned up where you need to be tuned up to, and just being ready for the tournament. Because this is where you've got to win a couple of games. Probably not going to get the extended buys, so you're going to win a couple of games, maybe 3 games. Put yourself in a position to make the regional.
Actually, the good thing, especially for the Cougars, is just there's been a lot of attrition in the district between the teams. There's a lot of teams hovering around the same spot. Yeah. And Oak Ridge is going to finish number 1 in the district, most likely.
Oak Ridge is powerful. You've got the bafflers, Halls. I mean, Halls can play Oak Ridge close, but lose a big game the next time. I mean, Campbell County beat Halls pretty handily. Well, it was a thrilling game, I wouldn't say handily. They were able to beat Halls, and Halls played with Oak Ridge coach. It's just on a given night in basketball, it's a lot more competitive than football across the board. Because the simple fact of basketball, it only takes one player in your team on a good night to really equalize things and keep you in the game.
Another big thing tonight is almost assuredly Dan Gilmore is going to hit 1,000.
Yeah,
he's sitting at 4 points away.
He's been building towards this for a couple of weeks now, which is odd for Dare because normally it's not uncommon to put up 25, 30 points in a given night. But he has been built towards this 1,000. He hopes he can get this, and most likely it would be good if they're going to be able to honor him on homecoming night. Probably next Tuesday, I think the Gibbs at home. It's full at home, I believe, Tuesday.
Thursday's full.
Okay, it is Gibbs at home on Tuesday. I would say probably at that Gibbs game on Tuesday night, you'll see Derek get his 1,000-point ball. I think barring some strange event, he doesn't score 4 points. I really keep looking, he won't be able to get the 4. So normally he's on a conference about 20, 30 points. But the Cougars have had some good bench contributions lately out of Evan Jackson and a few other players. He's been really hot from 3. He was my Cougar of the week, the second one of the week for the guys. Evan's a true freshman. He's really showing some promise.
Right, and another big thing tonight is the official return of Amber Guy to the Lady Cougars.
That will really her injury coincided with a downturn that the Lady Cougars had taken just a bit. They were still competitive without her, and actually, I'd say got the big win without her on Tuesday over the Gap. I'm not sure how effective she's going to be. There's a pretty serious injury.
Right, but it will be a lift to the team. Of course, Brooke Bain and Olivia Brown have been deadly from behind the 3-point line.
Brooke has really increased her output on last night. She was my female Lady Cougar of the day, of the week for today. Coach Honeycutt pointed out that she is the leading field goal percentage shooter on the team from 2 and one of their best from 3 as well. So, she's a senior. It's her time. This is the time the seniors need to be carrying their team, and the freshmen, younger kids need to be stepping up. So we're seeing that from other teams pretty much across the board. People like Mona Bella, who's a sophomore, getting a lot of playing time, and then you have Amber to lean on it now that she's back. Hopefully her injury doesn't slow her down.
Kendra King, who's vastly underrated and important to the team.
Kendra, solid. All those seniors are really solid players. They played on some really good teams in their career, especially their freshman year. I believe it was a team that pretty much dominated the district. Had the great year with Courtney Morris and
Kristen Chapman,
all those girls on it. So it's been hard to chase that down because that team lost those 7 great seniors at one time. But I think Coach Honeycutt's got the coach going back in the right direction towards that now.
Right.
Young talent he's building. Say that the talent on the field, heavy minutes for 2 freshmen at the high school level is not common at all in basketball. And when I call it an ideal world, Evan Jackson honestly would probably be playing JV ball right now, just about exclusively that as a freshman. I mean, he's got so much talent, you can't keep him off the floor. But he and Kobe Bailey both have been forced to take big roles. When you have freshmen playing big roles in your team, that makes maybe the year you're having at the time not quite where you want it usually because you've had some attrition or something for your team. It bodes well for the future.
It does, and in stretch, he's got potential to be one of those post players like we've had in the past, and like even we've had in recent years.
Yeah, he's got size, he's got athleticism. I mean, he's learning, growing into his body, getting stronger. And Landon Reed's another good example. He's only a sophomore. He was one of other players, but he's really come on strong for the Cougars. Left the JV game behind him. Plays great defense. Coach Sutton and Elsie both praised his defense just heavily. Part of it praised it. And you know what you're going to get out of Trey. You know what you're going to get out of Darren. You know what you're going to get out of Sam Peebly on a given night. Those guys are pretty much rock solid. They're going to cut up their numbers. They're going to play hard. Trey is going to be out in space and place.
The beat goes on.
It's just the emergence of the young players really speaks to the health and the future of the program. It's really going to help a lot. And you just can't say enough about those young guys coming in and as freshmen. It's really hard to make a transition in any sport from middle school up to the high school level. On the advanced front, Donnie Kendall did it again. I mean, big win over Arkansas, ranked number 19. Tennessee's RPI was up to 49.
And Arkansas's had some very good success against UT, even in the early.
Arkansas has always been a solid team. The strange thing about this game, Arkansas's strength, they have the big, I can't remember his name right now, Bobby. So he's 6'10", 6'11", post player. That's Tennessee's weakness. Our weakness, we have 2 freshman guys down in the post, and I think the transfer, who does nothing but foul people all the time, Carmine. So Tennessee's extremely thin in the post. They lost Jabari McGee. He looked like he was going to be a really good player to injury. Dominic Woodson he washed out. I mean, he's got the 4-star body or 5-star body and the 1-star mentality. And so he immediately washed out. It's a shame he did it at Memphis and Tennessee both now. I mean, that's a crazy opportunity to blow, but I mean, really, this may be the lead. Kendall's left alone, and there's people saying now that he's probably going to get that 5-game suspension like Hayes got. Hopefully that's all it is. If left alone, Kendall said the other day he thinks we've got a national championship at UT, and I have no reason to doubt it.
And if he gets a 5-game suspension, in the grand scheme, that's not bad.
No, it's nothing you want, and I would probably even appeal that unless they got a video of him handing money to a player. Even they knew Frank Hayes paid $100,000 for his players in Miami and lied to the NCAA 4 times about it. He got 5 games. They know the massive academic fraud's going on at UNC for the last 25 years. Nobody's even said anything about that in a negative way. They reinstated Joe Paterno's wins today.
Which I think they should have. The NCAA never really had a right to take
There was no NCAA violation in taking those wins. I mean, you may have a moral problem with it, but he didn't violate any NCAA rules to get the wins. So that plus Bobby Bowden back in second place. He may come back and coach for his kids for a few games, trying to get back up. He is still alive. Or this may kill him. He's about 9.
Maybe he'll go coach Penn State.
It's possible. I'm going to say Franklin get fired. That could not be happier though with Donnie Kendall. And it will still be up and down in games. How Tennessee's hitting those 3-pointers. And we will all have some losses, probably some ugly losses too. But it won't be because we didn't play hard. It won't be because Kendall got out coached. And those are two things that happen in Conzo Martin's team constantly.
Oh,
and Cal is seeing it now. Cal is something like, I don't know, they beat a bunch of tin cans and tomatoes to start the season off. They got out to like 11-2 start. I think they're 11-7 now. They're 1-5 or something like that. 10, Pac-12. Their fans are starting to complain hardly on the message boards already because the recruits and Conzo signers are terrible and don't even play hardly. This is a stark night and day difference between Kendall and his ability to coach basketball. His X's and O's, his adjustments at halftime, and how hard his kids work. With the talent Tennessee had last year, if Donnie Kendall was their coach, I think they would have went 30-5. They may not have gotten past the Sweet 16, I don't know, but that regular season would have been nearly as ugly. Because Kendall gets everything that those players have as of now. If those players have it in them, he gets it out. I mean, Josh Richardson never played point guard in his life, played point guard. He's a small forward. He's got, like I said, no post players. Managed to handle Arkansas 6'11" guys down in the post. Just play hard defense, play that zone, match up, sort of like a man-to-man, but sort of zone combine, press when you can, and make shots. If you make shots, you're good. He's got some pretty good shot makers. They're young. Mostella's a freshman and got some transfers. But just to put this roster together in basically 6 weeks and have it playing like it's playing now, you know, just have to take your hat off and just hope and pray that the NCAA doesn't screw us over again. They have a history of doing this since Doug Dickey.
that's because there's no test taking reported in that athletic department. Jimmy Cheek is just a rotten gator that needs to be skinned.
I can't disagree with any of those things. It would be huge. NFL, we talk about it. I'm still disgusted because of the Des Bryant play. There's no way that anybody will ever convince me that wasn't a catch, that he didn't make a football move. He took 3 steps while having both hands of the ball wrapped up around him. I mean, 2 steps, or 2 feet down constant position in the NFL. That 3rd step is a football move. If you're running, that's a football move. If you're diving, that's a football move. If you're stretching, that's a football move. It's a move common to the game. Say that wasn't a move common to the game. And Dallas may not have won the game. I don't know. Green Bay would have gotten the ball back. Assuming Dallas scored, they would have had the first to go from the 6-inch line with the best running back in the league. So the Kroger going to score. Green Bay would still gotten the ball back with a couple of minutes to go. And their offense had been playing pretty well. So you don't know if Dallas would have won or not. What galls me the most is the NFL took away what should have been a really exciting finish. Or the referees took away what should have been a really exciting finish. They've all went into the huddle mentality. They talked nothing about when he reached the ball out and how the ball came loose. And don't mention the 3 steps he took. And under that kind of rule, a receiver can literally run all day if he's stumbling, and if he loses the ball, it's not fumbling anymore. It's just, at what point do you have possession when you're running down the field with the ball? How many steps do you have to take? Obviously, you have to take at least 4 now to have possession. It's a bunch of fun.
Which leads to the Green Bay Seattle matchup.
So I don't begrudge Green Bay for it. I know there are a lot of idiotic Detroit Lions fans who just hated Dallas now, and we're happy for some bafflingly because we're happy that Green Bay won the game. And I don't understand that at all. I would be just as mad if the NFL refs were screwing me over having them. I mean, if that had been the reverse situation, this is the Washington Redskins and got that victory and beat the team that I thought the refs cheated to hell, I would still be mad because I wouldn't want the Redskins to win. I don't know why Lions fans want Green Bay to win.
People in Detroit are smart.
or they wouldn't be there. But I think Seattle's going to win the Super Bowl again, unless Belichick has some tricks. Well, I'll be very surprised if Belichick or if Indianapolis beats.
Oh, somebody's getting it wrong this week.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like any of the teams if I do like Gronkowski though. And I'm sure he will Gronk Indianapolis a couple of times. That's who you really Gronked earlier this year. He threw the guy out of bounds about 10 yards because they shut him down. Even though actually Belichick decided to run the ball 65 times against them, and Gray had like 210 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns. And once the guy caught trash to Gronk, he did come in and break 6 tackles and make a touchdown after he threw the guy out of bounds. I said he threw him out of the park.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a New England fan by any stretch of the imagination, but I do love me some Gronk.
He's got the personality of an 80s wrestler.
Yeah. And I mean, the Boston Celtics Cleveland game was enough proof to me that I should love Gronk.
He backs up what he says he's going to back up. But I expect it to be a Green Bay. I mean, probably a Seattle, New England Super Bowl. I think Seattle's probably going to win because they have a better defense. But Tom Brady's not won a Super Bowl in a long, long time. It's been 11 years, I think, now, since they won the Super Bowl. I think it was 2004. It's 2015. So it's been a long time for them.
It has.
The other NFL news, of course, Manning and the Colts, or Broncos, were eliminated.
John Fox is now the new head coach of the Bears.
Took over for the Bears. I don't know about the move for the Bears. It may help them. I know that Burton is going to be really happy with it because it's the Bears move. He's always happy with the Bears move. I feel that Fox probably should have did a little more with some of the talent he's had. Turned out this year, though, Manning has had a pretty significant injury the last month and a half of the season. That's why his numbers suddenly fell off. He didn't suddenly get old. He didn't suddenly forget how to play the game like people somehow were thinking. I mean, the guy he still threw for like 4,800 yards and 40 touchdowns this year.
I heard a great comment on a sports talk radio show that if people are screaming that Manning needs to retire, there's about 28 other quarterbacks in the NFL that need to retire too.
I mean, like I say, it turned out he had a torn quad, which is your big 4 muscles on top of your thigh, or around your thigh to attach to your knee. I mean, that's a significant injury. He hit it apparently, but that's why his numbers so low. Now, he didn't, like I say, he did. I'm gonna say he threw for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns the week before he got hurt. He didn't go from that to forgetting how to play the game, like most people seem to think, or did he didn't suddenly get old. I mean, he's 38, which is old. I mean, Fox when he was 42. But that's about all I can think of for this week.
Yeah, it's time to head up to the high school fans. We will see you next week on Sports Chat.